you definitely made a shift over the last decade into, I'd say, harder rock from that first EP or whatever. But do you have any like piano ballads on the new EP or on the new album coming out? Or?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've heard that a few times, but really, the reality is, I started off just with rock. I was in rock bands, and for me, doing the piano EP, to me, that was a kind of a departure to something different. And so now I'm just kind of getting back to what I've kind of
your roots
skills on. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's there's a whole wide variety of things on this album. Nothing that I would classify as a piano ballad, but there's some slower songs in there. There's some songs that are very very personal. I mean, all of them are personal to some degree. They're about things I've experienced, and even if things that I've experienced in the subconscious level and didn't even realize it, I really try to tap into that kind of thing. And yeah, it was really, a lot of it was inspired by an ayahuasca experience trip.
Oh, nice.
That I had a few years back. And I think whenever this kind of process began to write this album, I kind of started working on these songs, and I, you try to find a common theme sometimes. Sometimes it's just like, hey, this is living on its own island or whatever. But I try to kind of like tie them all together in a nice way. And this was what I brought it back to. I just thought to myself, man, all these things kind of tie back to this experience I had with ayahuasca, and I saw just so many just crazy things, and definitely it was a journey for sure. So yeah, it's kind of all over the place, yeah, there's a song about my father that passed away when I was 19, and there was a part when I was hallucinating and in the middle of this thing where just like I had this moment where there was just like this light at the end of the tunnel. And it sounds so cliche, I know, but there really was like this light, and like it was like flashing, and this like, it was like figures were walking in front of the light, just kind of back and forth. And then this one figure just got between me and the light and just kind of stepped forward a little bit. And it was just like, it had a golden silhouette. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, I'm so grateful that I did this. Like at that moment, I just felt like this overwhelming feeling of gratitude, and just, it was incredible. I was like, I can't believe I decided, because I'm not a big drug person, like I don't even know why I decided to do this, other than just I had heard that it was a different thing, and it's a powerful thing, and it's used to kind of heal people, therapeutic in a way. So I'm like, all right, maybe this is something different. But at that moment, I really was grateful that I decided to do it, and it was very inspiring. I definitely came out the other side a little bit changed, a different person for sure.
That's so cool. I'm a huge advocate of psychedelics, and I just saw Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers talking about an ayahuasca experience on Joe Rogan. So it's not uncommon.
Yeah, it's a thing. Usually people, I think they go down to kind of the South America, Amazon area. And, there's a shaman, and, they call it medicine, and I really believe it can be really beneficial for all types of things. You kind of, I don't know, you kind of really dig inside, yourself, and deal with, trauma, whether it's just like trauma that you didn't remember, or trauma that you do remember. And it's just very therapeutic, I think. So.
Yeah, there's actually, I just read a thing about how they're they're experimenting with psychedelics like mushrooms and MDMA on for PTSD with like veterans, and it's like having incredible results. So
yeah, it's really magical stuff, I think. Obviously, with anything out there in the world, it can be abused, but I think if used properly in the right doses and amounts, I think it can be beneficial.
So is that what helps get all the inspiration for this great songwriting then, or?
I mean, I try to use any inspiration I can get, man. And by the way, I back to all that, I'm no doctor, so please don't.
Yeah. Any medical advice on this stream is for entertainment purposes only.
Exactly.
Consult your doctor.
Exactly. This is only my own experiences only. Yeah. But no, I try to draw inspiration from every little thing. I mean, life. I mean, this life we're living. It's a crazy trip in itself.
Right.
And I just try to be just grateful for every second that I have and every moment. I mean, it really is a beautiful thing. But I mean, yeah, I'll watch movies. I mean, you could watch. God, I mean, I'm a child of the '80s, so you could just watch Blade Runner and write a whole album about just that one movie. And I mean, there's so much cool imagery and cool sounds, and so yeah, anything and everything.